Yeah, happy
Ye-
Monday, baby.
Happy Monday. What's going on, King? How's everything? What's going on, Queen? How's
I can't,
everybody?
I can't call it. That's the queen right there, Lisa Ray. We'll talk more about her as we go on. This Monday is a special Monday. Makes 1 week since we lost our day one comrade in comedy, Sharonda Rogers. We lay her officially to rest this Friday, the 20th, in Jersey City. So I think it's only right to change the intro up for the show today. Let's go into the other intro, and then we'll kick it right into Motivation Monday. Let's get it.
Still.
Still can't believe you're gonna give anything to hear half your breath. I know you're still living your life after death.
Every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break. I'll be missing you. Somebody tell me why.
Like Amir said, job well done, Sharonda Rogers, man.
Yeah, yeah.
We gonna miss her, Amir. We gonna miss her.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm still in disbelief. I'm still
Yeah.
trying to make it make sense in my head. I still keep thinking that I'm gonna get a phone call, a text message that just says gotcha or something. Not that she was a jokester like that, but my brain just can't let it go. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. And ladies and gentlemen, catch you up if you are not familiar and didn't hear us talk about her as much as we should have. She's been on here once or twice. Sharonda Rogers is, you had to make up a title for her. She's the bringing together. You know what I mean? Like that to me, if I had to pick her one quality, and she had many, but if you had to pick the pinnacle, the one at the top that stood out the most, when you talk to people, they all come back around, gravitate towards that same thing. Like, oh, I met her and the energy, and she introduced me to this one, and I met her, and then I met this one. Like she brought people together. And that so tells the story of Robin Entertainment. Before there was a Robin Entertainment, there was a nonstop entertainment. And these two young ladies, Lisa Ray, McGarry, Diane Gibbs, they did that professionally. They brought people together on a continued basis, and you just couldn't stop them. So I have my queen come on here. Salute to Lisa Ray, 50% of the non-stop entertainment queens. How are you today,
Yes,
first of all?
yes, yes. Well, I'm good. You know, I'm honored to be on the show to speak about Sharonda, of course. Um, very sad. It's a very, very sad time in the world of comedy because honestly, aside from a Tina Graham and a Diane Gibbs and myself, when I think of comedy, I think of Sharonda when it comes to the female side of it. You know what I mean? From
Yeah,
the women in comedy, because there weren't many of us on that side. You know what I mean?
that's true.
Um,
That's true.
so
I didn't even look
and
at it like that. That's true, Lisa.
that's a fact. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
I mean,
And
I've never, if you're not like I don't know, I guess I'm never considered myself like a genderist, like where I go into a room, I never really, the only time I separate that when people bring it to my attention, like, we throw trips and do shows. So you'll get people be like, man, there's a sausage fest in there. Or they be like, man, what the dude? Or women be like, where the dudes at? And then you look around, you go, damn, I need some dudes in it. But it's funny you bring that because I never look at it. But since you said it like that, you're absolutely right.
yeah, no, it's I mean that's a fact. And not all the women in comedy could relate to the men in comedy because it's a whole lot of different personalities, a whole lot of different ways of performing your craft. So some men could even be a little emotional sometime. And I would say somebody like Sharonda would be able to talk somebody off the ledge if necessary. You know what I
Yo,
mean?
do I know what you mean? You know what we said all last week? We were talking about that, right? And the funniest thing that stands out that you say, talking about the ledge, I always remember, I probably got about 100 in my clip where you get some new comic, or sometimes it's not a new comic, they just don't do well, right? So I go up there, I'm the host, I be tearing their ass up how bad they did, right? Trying to be in the back at the same time with whoever that comic is, like, it's gonna be okay. Don't even worry about. You just got real. This New York, you gotta go faster, or you got, have confidence. Like she be back there building up what I'm tearing down, and I don't mean to tear it down, but I'm the host, and I got to
That's
deal
your
with that.
job.
Yeah, I got to do it. I got to talk. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny you say that.
Yeah, she ended up counseling them. And honestly, when I met Sharonda, obviously I met her through you, and she came out to the proper, and she was just very bubbly and smiley, and from day one it was always love from day one. And she was no nonsense, like myself.
Right.
So we got along from that standpoint. You know what I mean? We understood each other. It was easy. Like nobody had time for drama. She was definitely drama free, but she definitely was very warm. She had a warm spirit about her when you met her. So even if you met her for the first time, you would feel like you knew her for a while. Like I've met this person before,
Yeah.
because she had that kind of a warm feeling, a warm spirit. So that's what I would have to say. And although it's been so many years, I'm so thankful. We would send each other, inspirational messages, and messenger, on social media, behind the scenes, different things. I remember when she lost her dad, and I sent her some encouraging words, that kind of thing. And I know that this past December, when I spoke to you and you said come on to the, I hadn't been out in a while and I needed to get out, and she came right over to me, and I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And she looked great. She looked
Yeah.
wonderful. I said, look at you, Slim Goody. And, she was looking slim and I was looking slim. And we were like, just, again, just bigging each other up from that standpoint. And she just was like, oh God, it's good to see you. We exchanged information again. I already had the information. And the last time I guess we connected was, when you were doing my nonprofit, the Angels Heart for Hope Foundation, um, book drive and fundraiser. That was
Right.
the last time that I had spoken to her, and I know she was working at that time. And I'm happy I got to see her, but I'm sad. I have no words right now. It's too young,
Yeah.
too young,
Way
too
too young.
soon, too young, too soon. It just hurt my heart. It
That
honestly
was just
did.
around the corner, December. That was the 30th anniversary at the
Yes,
King Theater,
December
and I
18th, I
remember that
believe.
moment. I remember she's like, "Oh, I seen her. She look good. She's slim. I'm slim." They went in the corner. They start comparing drug dealers. So where you get your crack? I don't know where you get.
Hey,
So
listen. We can't
they got
afford to eat no more. Look, food is too expensive.
no. Listen, tell the people in the midst of us giving these flowers is the double meaning of having you on today. Obviously, we'll give flowers to Sharonda as we officially, pay homage Friday in her memorial. The Angels Foundation that you have and the books you have out and stuff like that. Talk a little bit about that and tell people where they can go and support. You know what I mean?
Okay. So the my middle name is Angel. Talent, you should have known that. You've known me 1,000 years. You should have known that. But if you don't know now, you know.
Well, who said I
And
didn't know? How you gonna try?
okay.
I didn't say nothing. I'm pouring a glass of water.
So the foundation, a couple of years ago, I decided, well, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis out of nowhere. And I was like, what the heck is this? What is this? I had a little bit of slurred speech, little balance off, and then suddenly, after going back and forth to the doctors for 8 years, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and to the point I was like, "Am I dying?" And anyway, I wrote while I was going through recovery. I had a back surgery I shouldn't have had.
Right.
I have screws and rods in my back, and the doctors didn't do their due diligence, and now I have screws and rods in my back that I shouldn't have, because it was ultimately multiple sclerosis. And so while I was going through recovery, I wrote a book of inspirational poetry that I sent you Angel's
Thank you, by
Heart.
the way.
You're welcome. Angel's Heart, Guided by Light, because God gave me those words. And so um, I had that title for 3 years before I even put it out there. And then most recently, I wrote another book. I'm a co-author on a book called The Reveal. It's just a book of testimonies of people overcoming adversity. Wonderful stories, not just women, it's women and men in there. And it's powerful, powerful testimonies. And when I wrote the first book, the book of inspirational poetry, I said, I want to do something. I got to do something. I can't just sit here and do nothing with my life. I went back to school. I got another degree in organizational management. I was the president of the class. I finished with a 3.96.
Nice.
And then I said, I'm going to start a nonprofit. That was a few years ago. And over COVID, with everything happening and all of us having to pivot and doing things differently and try to keep jobs and try to live, keep our lives, our health and strength, I started a nonprofit, and it's Angels Hearts for Hope Foundation, Inc., to bring awareness to multiple sclerosis. And so I blog. I also wrote a play called Life is Poetic. And it just shares, from a real place. It talks about me still fighting to live, because I can't wear high heels anymore. Women in their heels, and Talent, I used to wear a pair of heels. Okay. And it's that was a challenge. So I said, I got to keep my weight down, because the lower you are to the ground, the wider you look. I can't do it. I got to keep it together. You know what I'm saying? It's the truth. It's the truth. So I said,
and you light skin.
But that too, right? So that's you're gonna see that. So
Like, what that got to do with anything?
nah. But you gotta keep it.
And you light skin.
You gotta keep it together. You just gotta keep it together. So I decided that for 2 years I kind of wear long pants and long dresses. I wouldn't, because I wear brace. I have a brace, an AFO brace, because I have something called a drop foot. You ever see people walk like Frankenstein, dragging their foot? I'm telling the truth. You're dragging your foot like Frankenstein. You're walking, and that's how I was walking. I was like, okay, this is not cute. This is not sexy. I got to figure something out.
Let me ask you a question. You know what's funny about that? Like, what if you wasn't already sexy? Do you care, right? Like if somebody who deemed themselves, because no, people, you'd be surprised. I've heard people talk about themselves, and people will say the most blatant, like, from them, honest, from their heart shit. And I've heard people, I'm not sexy. So if you're not sexy, you're probably giving up the shoes ain't nothing. You, on the other hand, you can't wait to throw a dress on, got your little swag, your hair done, your heels. So that it must affect you way different.
Yo, Talent, my walk was out of it was gone. It was a wrap. I was like, I got a whole new walk.
Yeah.
And my walk was my signature, kind of, sort of, right? You know what I mean? And now I got a new walk. So my new line is, ain't nothing changed but my limp. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's funny.
I'm better because I have more understanding for people dealing with disabilities. I wasn't born with this, but I have to tell you, if it happened to somebody else, I believe it would have killed them, because I know people. To come out in public, everybody's like, oh, I had to talk them off the ledge.
Right.
From that standpoint, I was like, listen, this is what it is. I'm okay. Don't worry. I'm good. And people would be like, oh, what happened? And I would just tell them, and I would share. And did I have to? No, but I'm not hiding. And most recently, I wrote something. I write a lot about a lot of different things. I write about the healthcare system. I had a bad experience with a doctor, and I wrote something called "Is There a Doctor in the House?" Because the health care system sucks, and my medication is $18,000 every 6 to 8 weeks. I get an infusion to slow down the progression of the disease, but there's no cure, which is a bunch of B also. So, I told my doctor, I said, I'm going to get off this medication, and I want to eat healthy and do whatever it is from a holistic standpoint, because I don't want to keep taking this medication, because you helping me one way, but you killing something else probably. I don't know what that is. So
wow. Yeah. I got my own little conspiracy theory about all that. It's much more money. Yeah, much more money in treating than healing and curing. Everybody knows that. I super appreciate you sharing your story. At the same time, shedding light on who Sharonda Rogers was. We got a bunch of guests coming in, but I wanted you to pop in. It was very important to hear, because it's so the similarities. Like, everybody's in shock, but we're still in shock. She's only 45 years old, and everybody was assuming, because the times we live in, the brain goes to COVID, the brain that goes to all these other things, when in actuality, she had this severe double asthma attack in the wee hours of the morning, like 3 a.m. And on top of that, she's, dealing with being anemic and just a little idiosyncrasy and stuff like that. So I appreciate you, Lise. Thank you so much.
Yes,
I appreciate you. And, my condolences and prayers to you and her family. And you know what? You're in my prayers, and, one day at a time.
That's it.
Rest in peace, Sharonda. Rest in peace, Queen. Love you.
Thank you.
God bless.
Appreciate you,
God
baby.
bless.
Appreciate it. Amir, I know that's a lot, brother. I know that's a lot. How you feeling today, brother?
It's so wild, man, because Lord Finesse on Saturday, he took his brunch and dedicated it to Sharonda that he normally does on Twitch. And to Lisa's point, and to your point, they dubbed her the Complete Vibe. That was her new nickname, the Complete Vibe. And I thought that was so dope. I was like, damn, my man, she's not here to hear that in real time. You know what I mean? Because I just thought it was like one of the dopest names I've ever heard. I was like, the Complete Vibe. That's me. Because
there's only like two crazy women, probably crazier than Sharonda. And if you look at the screen, I don't know. One looks like, I don't know if she's in a shower studio. One's in a shower studio. The other one got half a shoulder out. I don't know what's going on. All I know is
I'm at home minding my business. That's all I know. That's what I heard. Onika, tell me something. Did you hear something different?
I don't know. I hear a little bit of hate going on, but I'm just saying I gotta get my naps together.
Get them together, sis.
They don't give you a lot of. They don't give you money when you nappy. You gotta be right.
Can I give both of you queens some flowers right now? Because I had to take inventory over the past week. And that's what big losses do to all of us. It makes us take this unexpected inventory in life and love and caring and people around you. And I gotta be honest, you two are two fucking women that whenever y'all come around, the joy is real. Like I could be in the middle of somebody could just piss me off, and I turn around and Bella, Bernadette's right there, or Nika's there, and you just start smiling all over again because these goofy motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? You turn around, they're gonna say something crazy, they're gonna do something goofy, but the result is godly and empowering and inspiring. And I want to give you two your flowers.
Thank you.
Like I said, taking inventory of your kingdom. I said these certain people we need to have talked to today on Sharonda Day. I don't know if you guys know or received the arrangements from me, but it's going down Friday in Jersey City. Before we even talk about her a bit more, let's go to commercial break because it's sponsored by the Life and Times of Sharonda Rogers. Prophet Pete, play that drop again, and we come back and talk to these ladies real quick.
Prophet Pete.
Nice. Still can't believe you're gonna give anything to hear half your breath. I know you're still living your life after death.
Every move I make.
I'm trying to look Indian. Do it look Indian?
Every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break. I'll be missing you. Somebody tell me why.
Yeah, gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Love it.
Sharonda,
That's
today on
dope.
Motivation Monday. So B Love has joined us. Onika McLean has joined us. First of all, Onika, how you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good. I'm gonna send you a money order so you can move out of that shower. B Love, how you doing?
This is a nice bath. I got this done This looks good. I try to have a spa. You see it? Look.
Okay.
Let me get my glasses so y'all can see. Wait. Oh, no.
Hey, Onika, that's the same shower from Cell Block H. Remember Cell Block H? The woman
You know, I was single during the pandemic. I was trying to, think about.
Getting ready for when you're not single, huh?
Remember Adabishi? Remember how much muscles he used to have, Adabishi? I was just thinking about that time he was in the shower that time when Adabishi take those men and just throw them up against the wall and be like this.
See, I'm not messing with her. Bila, if I say Sharonda, you give me 3 words that come to mind real quick and describing her and her character.
She was funny. She
Absolutely.
was witty as hell. And she had an incredible work ethic. Like an incredible work ethic.
Yeah, I know that for a fact. She did so much. You don't even realize you spoke to her 4 times that day. You know what I mean? Like until you go back to do something else and you're looking at the thread, like, God damn, I spoke to her 4 times. Like, but she was that type of person. 3 words, Onika, describing Sharonda.
Supportive, loving, and caring.
Yeah.
That's a fact. So altogether, you got 6 things there that encapsulate a woman who, as Amir put it a few times in the past week, job well done. And when he says that, and like I said, you do inventory, you play it all back. And I know it's never going to be a right time for us. We're loved ones. We're lovers of life, period. So we're always going to look at the half empty when life is taken away from us. Like when a friend is gone and you get that news, you can't help but automatically go negative before positive. Nobody's ever gotten that news. I don't know what time we all got the notification, but nobody's ever, Sharonda passed. Great. Had a good time with it. That's never going to happen.
Right.
Everybody's going to be shocked, like, what? Like, wait, I don't know about you. 4 times. Who? Like, and then I'm starting to think, I know a couple of other people named Sharonda. Can't be Sharonda. You know what I mean? But that's the case. Amir, same to you. 3 words, bro.
Warm, incredibly just dope. Like, and I mean dope in every sense of the word. And then the last thing that comes to mind is just one of a kind. I really mean that, like a one of a kind. We got a one of one. You don't often put that on, people just because, but Sharonda happens to be one of those people who falls into that fun category of one of one. You just can't compare to anything else. She's class all by herself. So
You know what stands out? When people are real, like when people, sometimes, honesty, cuts a little deep, a little harsh, whatever. But when they do that to you, you are forced to reciprocate. You are forced to deal with that person kind of on that level. You know what I mean? It's sort of like, I guess, like, I've never been strung out on drugs, but when you look at drug addicts who have to join the program and they assign a sponsor, and that sponsor is that one lifeline for that person, or supposed to be, that no holds barred, to keep it 100. So in the light, she's kind of like a sponsor, because sometimes you may feel about something that she knows the masses don't. And you know how comedians are. Comedians know, like, we come up in a different set of rules. We come up in a set of rules where we don't care. A real comedian doesn't care if the masses don't agree with their POV. This is the POV they came up with. This is what they believe in. They're going to stand behind it. But in business and marketing, like say with Robinhood Entertainment and ski trips and all that stuff, you need a person like Sharonda that can come into a room or a meeting and go, yeah, I see what y'all trying to do and what y'all want to do. And it's not a horrible idea, but the people ain't gonna like it.
Right.
And you'd be like, what do you mean the people ain't gonna like it? And then she'll break down and give you 4 or 5 bullet points and to explain her position and why the people would like it. And then it will shine some light on it. And you'd be like, damn, shit, I didn't even look at it like that. But now that I'm looking at it like that, yeah, we don't want to rub people that way. So she was a person, my sponsor that forced me to talk to her that way and deal with more real based stuff that in the beginning, like 29 years ago, we didn't deal with each other like that. The growth over the decades is what made the relationship with Robin Hood, entertainment. And when people go unexpectedly like that, is in a perfect world, what if we could pick how and when we go? I think there was a phrase somebody put out there. If you could know one of the two things, what would you pick? How you die or when you die? I propose that question to you guys right here on the show today. Onika, you first. Which one would you pick? Which you got a choice. Somebody said, I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna tell you either when you can die or how you're gonna die. What would you want to know?
When?
Why is that? Why when?
Because then I could say some shit that I was scared to say. If I be out of here, some people gonna get these goddamn words that I was holding for a long time, Mom. Huh?
Right.
She said when.
Hey, B-Love, how about you? If you could pick when or know how, which is more important for you to know?
I think I would probably like Onika. I'm with when, and only because if I can't, if you telling me how and there's nothing I could do about it, I don't want to know. Damn it, because there's some ways I know I don't want to go out. I'm just saying that's just me. So I'd rather know the when part so I can kind of figure it out. Do I need like a fire retardant suit at that moment? Like, what do I need to be near a hose? Do I need a parachute? I need the win. So,
but that's why I don't want to know. I'm with you guys. I want the win. The win is a wiser thing for the simple fact of for obvious reasons of you can prepare and get things in order. But more importantly, if I know the how I'm gonna die, like how comfortable can you live? Whatever.
Exactly. Everything.
Like if they tell you the bus, you spend your whole existence avoiding bus.
And that's how you going out.
Then you're gonna die from a cold bowl of oatmeal. Now you're scared in the supermarket. Amir, what would you go with, bro?
Wow, the when or how?
That's funny.
You know what? I might take how, believe it or not. And the only reason why I might take how is because then I can honestly just continue to do what I'm doing. Because if I know how it's coming or whatever the case may be, I'm riding it out really, really to the end and just
So you ain't
doing
wearing
everything.
no condoms. He just gonna get
all that. Look, everybody, they're gonna get this work. They're gonna get this work in these streets. We out here, whatever.
Some for you, and some for you, and some for you.
Yo,
I'm going someday.
yo, something wrong. See what I'm saying? Something wrong with these two. Yo, something really wrong.
I'm saying,
Before I let y'all go, I appreciate the time. I want both of y'all, and even Amir, if y'all can give the people a Sharonda story that resonates with you, that stays in your mind. When you think of Sharonda, people always be like, man, we was just over. I remember this one time, or what comes like Amir, literally, and you, Bernadette, we were all in the DMV not 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's immediately like story bill right there. Onika, you got a story? You and Sharonda?
Yeah, so recently, we've been on the phone a lot. And Friday, I was telling her that I need an assistant. I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. And we got on the phone and she was getting me together. Like she was just sitting, I was like, I don't need you to help. She was like, oh, but I would not tell I wouldn't tell you need this business part, you need me. And I was like, okay. And we sat down and she just kind of just walked me through some stuff and, how I need to do this and how I do that. And it's so crazy because we're supposed to talk again on Monday.
Wow. On the Monday?
Yeah.
Wow. And here's my thing is like, there's so many stories, man, but I always, somebody sent a video from Atlantic City this week in the inbox. when gave the thankful speech, because there's only on those trips, I want to say we've had in almost 30 years of trips, we've only had about 3 or 4 times where it got super sentimental. And for whatever reason, something happens, and in that moment when it hits you, you got to speak on it. And it just comes into fruition of the people who are there who got your back. You got people that, they're fans and they just come and they enjoy, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then there's people that end up, it goes a little deeper, cuts a little deeper, if you will. And that during instances and trials and tribulations, you look around, you go, yo, they got my back. And I remember it was a couple of trips where, the people who, the subcontractors we were doing business with, they didn't give a damn. Everything was a nickel and a dime. They're looking at numbers. Whereas this is the difference in Robin Entertainment. This is why Sharonda fit. Is even though we're in business to make numbers like everybody else, ultimately we give 2 fucks about what everybody's feeling and going through. So if you're there on with us, we care 120% of what you're going through and how can we make that better, or how can we rectify A, X to Z. So it's like a couple of times where she got real emotional. And once Sharonda get the bawling and crying, you show me you can hold the tears in. If you goddamn superhero, because Sharonda crying is kryptonite to us tough guys. Motherfuckers don't see me cry. You can count on your hand, but if she balls out and she has around me or in front of me, I'm balling. And then don't let it be two thugs with me, because they're gonna cry because I cry. And that's how the hood cries. Like one leader thug cries, and then everybody else with the 9mm start crying. Then the 2 dudes with the shanks, they cry. then the criminals in the jail showers like Onika got, they cry. Next thing you know, the hood's crying. So that's how. Amir, you got a story that comes to mind?
Yeah. And this one was interesting. We had we were going through COVID, and COVID that just passed December, around the holidays. I had caught COVID, so Sharonda called to check on me, and she was like, "Man, what's going on?" This, that, third. I said, "Hey, man, I messed around and caught COVID." She was like, "Uh-huh." I said, "Man, listen, everybody's gonna catch it some point." So as we talking, I'm telling her, I said, "Look, I need to get myself some lemons and some water and this and that and the third, whatever." And I said, "But it'll be a few days before I can get that done because obviously I got to quarantine this, that, the third." So she was like, "Okay." She's like, "Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better, blah, 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 blah." She said, "You in Brooklyn, right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn." Don't know how she got the information, but next thing I know, we hang up the phone, and maybe like 3 hours later, the doorbell rings. It was Fresh Direct. They delivered water, they delivered lemons, and some of the other stuff that I had said on the thing, soup. And I called Sharonda back. I said, "Sharonda, I didn't ask you." She said, "I didn't ask you about it either." She said, "I know we can't afford to lose you, so the quicker you start getting better, the quicker we back in the game." And that to me was the epitome of how great a person she really was. She really took the time to make sure that you were good under every circumstance she could think of. And if that's not showing you her heart, showing you the real spirit of who she was, I don't know what is. You know what I mean?
Be love. It's your world, baby. I know you got 150 in the clip.
I know. It's so funny. I'm just sitting here, thinking about so many situations like Atlantic City, how she was doing drunk karaoke. And the one thing about Sharana, you said it earlier, is that you can have a few conversations with her in one day, but they could be different conversations. It could start out with, "Girl, I just broke up with my man. I hate his guts." What? Blah, blah, blah. And then you hang up. "By the way, the show's on Thursday," or "How you getting there," or whatever. Okay. So it was like the way you could just interact with her. And in the past few weeks, having conversations with different people and them bringing something up that just reminded me of her. There's just not one story. She's just an incredible person, and I'm
Mhm.
honored to have known her and had her in my life. And I just want to say thank you for letting me come up here and share, because, you know, I don't always show a lot of emotion, you know, but this one right here means something. I want to celebrate her. And
Yeah.
that's really what I wanted to say. Like, all of the great things that she was, and all of the way that she gives back, the way that she cares selflessly. You know, I was thinking about all of the things that she showed me in herself. And I was like, I just want to continue to do that. I just want to continue to honor her memory. And I want to continue to talk about her in the way that we do, which is in nothing but great spirit. So, Sharonda, I love you. I miss you, girl. You are so missed. Thanks, T, for letting us come on and just share.
No, thanks, Nita. I love y'all dearly, and I wanted to let y'all know that and take an inventory. Y'all in that. Round of applause to my ladies. Give it up for B Love.
Thank you.
Give it up for Onika, comedian extraordinaire. Thank y'all for joining in. That was wonderful. That was everything and more. Plus, y'all like Disney Plus. Thank you.
We're here anytime, just so you know.
Thank you. I
Subscription fee
appreciate
is
y'all. Thank
included.
you.
Yes.
Enjoy the rest of the
Bye.
evening. I'll see y'all this week. All right.
All right.
Oh man, so that's crazy. That feels great. Just to reiterate, scrolling across the bottom of the screen is the information for the services for my girl Sharonda Rogers, the arrangements. Uh, we definitely send her home officially Friday, May 20th. This Friday coming. The viewing will be for 2 hours, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then at 11 a.m., they'll go into the full service. It's at St. John's Baptist Church, 525 Bramhall Avenue, Bramhall Avenue in Jersey City, 525 Bramhall Avenue in Jersey City. Again, this Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. And then at 11 a.m., go right to the full service. There is no official repass, but the family do want you to feel free to wear any shade of green, as green was her favorite color. So any shade of green, you can get your hands on. That just limited my life. Uh, yo, on some real shit, bro.
You got
Like, yo,
I said
it's
the
like two
same thing,
colors that
T.
you say I'm fucked. Like, and green happen to be green and fucking like brown. Like,
I said the same thing. I was like, okay, I don't have, okay.
well,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to the store and get a green shirt. I'm
yeah,
gonna get some
yeah.
green, and I think I got a tie to go on my joint. Put a little black vest on, some shirt. I'm gonna figure it out. I always do, but that just reading that for the first time, I was like, oh, nigga, you ain't ready. You make an announcement like yo, the zombies are coming at 12 midnight. Lock your doors, and you go, I ain't got no lock.
Yeah, but again, like you said, man, she just was such a bright, and you know what's funny is all of us are talking about how bright and she was a quiet bright though. It wasn't a loud bright like Sharonda. You know, how you be around certain people, and in order for you to, or you know that they're around because they're loud and they're, brash and this and the third. Sharonda was a quiet loud, which is sounds like an anomaly, and it is. But just being around her, there was this funny energy that emanated off of her and from her that you just picked up on, and it made you feel comfortable. It was like a warm, cool blanket that you might put on when you're sitting around the house and house is cold and you're watching a movie or watching your favorite TV shows and whatnot. Sharonda gave you that kind of feel. She always kind of just made you feel like comfortable. And
That's
like I said,
crazy
it
because
wasn't
that's true
through
as hell.
yeah, and it wasn't through, her talking or anything like that. It was just her being around. It was something about her presence that emanated in a way that felt warm and comfortable, which is really dope,
Well, she was, man, like you got to really, like I said, like I had a week to take a little inventory and I do a little bit at a time. I don't want to overkill. And then more importantly, I don't want to put myself in a state that I can't get out of when I need to get out. Because I know it's coming this week. You know what I mean? So leading up into it, bits and pieces, and I have my moments and, my recollection and even laughter and even tears. Like she was the complete friend evokes all emotions.
Yeah.
The complete friend. The complete friend, if you have a friend, somebody you call a friend, and to me, you didn't get to the point where you on each other, you evoke emotions on each other time and time again, then you really you're not complete yet. Like if you that's your friend and all you did was laugh, okay, you got more to do. Y'all okay, that part
You didn't fight.
right. It is that time where I never forget, like, so somebody like Aldo. I never forget the first time he spazzed on me, right? I was like this, like, oh. And he, mid spaz, he catches like, damn, I'm kind of like loud and kind of like a little aggressive. And I was just sitting there like taking it all in, and he was like, yeah, my bad, but blah blah blah. I said, no, you gotta apologize. I was like, that was interesting. Like, okay, saying you're mad now, you know what I mean? But it was just another, character and avenue of friendship. Like, you know what I mean? Your mother, your mother and your parents used to beat you, and they loved you,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
was for a reason. You know what I mean? And these was the facets that as life goes on and you got older, you would come to understand, if not appreciate, these things that was kind of happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I like you said it, and that's what. But to a point that you made earlier, that's what made Sharonda so dope. Is even if she did or did not necessarily agree with you, if she gave you her point of view, you didn't take it as a scolding or even as a situation where you felt like she was coming at you. It was sort of like, all right, Sharonda, I understand. I feel what you're saying. I got it. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like you said, you got friends who sometimes you go into those spaces and it turns into a drag out, knockout situation, almost to the point you got to get up and I'm gonna call you back. And you really on some call you back, not because you really want to get off the phone. You're like, I am 2 seconds from really trying to go at this person, and I'm trying to let my emotions not be why we get to this space versus us getting to this space for all the right reasons, which is out of love and care and all of those things. And I feel like Sharonda just had a very cool way of giving you that kind of love and that kind of understanding. But it wasn't brash. It wasn't, it didn't come at you like a punch in the face. It came at you like how you get the light slap.
Right. Tell me about it.
You know
Tell
what I
me about
mean?
it. Yeah, but she was. So much to be said about a dude. That those are the people who make you kind of. It's ironic, but those are the people who make you most speechless. The ones you have so much to say about. Then something like this happens, you'd be like, you know what I'm saying? But that's real life. That's who she was. I know we got more guests. Hey, bring my guests in here. DJ Jess, JoJo, Kamal Speaks in the building. Bring my guests on up in here. We
Yeah.
got people, man. We got people. Hey, if you're on your phone, JoJo, turn it sideways so we can take up the screen.
Turn it sideways. Holy.
If there's a phone, it should
Landscape.
I'm upside down.
Landscape.
put
Your
your
landscape.
put your rotation on.
Put your rotation on.
I just got out of the shower. Hold on.
It's okay. What the hell the shower got to do with turning the phone?
Because I had to go get all my stuff out, and I don't know. Hold on.
What does a shower?
You left me in the room. And told me to do
Okay, I see
There
Kmart.
you go.
Okay, there you go.
There
There you
you
go.
go.
Frank's in the building. Jess
Frank's
is
in
in
the
the building.
building.
Comedian, JoJo.
Jamal.
Real quick, before we talk to you guys, station identification. You're tuned in to W. Sharonda Rogers Radio. Rest in paradise, my queen. We're going to take a break. Station identification. Come back and talk to these people who knew her well. Let's drop that joint again.
Still can't believe you're gonna give anything to hear half your breath. I know you're still living your life after death.
Every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break. I'll be missing you.
Wow, wow, wow. That's flowers, baby. That's flowers. That's all flowers right there. That's the homie day one and this thing called comedy. Uh, they call it show business, and we were tight and worked together on both ends of the thing, on the show side and the business side, making it happen. I'm gonna go to DJ Jess first because Jess, shit, next to me up here right now, you probably got the longest tenure of dealing and knowing Sharonda in this comedy game as well.
Yes, I do. I mean, it's just, oh my God, we go back so far. I was trying the other day, I was trying to figure out, exactly when this started. But I mean, I stopped thinking because I mean, we've done every island, we've done ski trip, you name it. Our resume together is like, wow. And I remember it goes so far back as when, me, I was traveling with my kids and she'd be watching my daughter while we doing the show, man, and on ski trips. So, I mean, it's just, that's my sister. There's no way getting around that, man. And she is so missed. And when you called me at early morning Monday, I was just like in shock, man. And I still can't believe that she's not here. I
That's
went back
crazy.
and I started pulling all the pictures we took, and just thinking on one line because we would go at each other in a real like competitive, friendly way. But at the end of the day, yeah, we always had something slick to say to each other. And she would rag me about going from when we were out there life to the married life and how happy I was, and it's just wow, man. The memories just make me smile because they were all good. They were all good.
Hey, Jess, it's crazy. So the other night, I don't know if you call it epiphany or spiritual dream. So I'm dreaming, and spirit came to me in a dream, and it was like, yo, don't forget, Jess owed me $40. Get that for me. And I said, when I see him, you know what I mean? Jess a cool dude. He know what he owe. And so check your text. I sent you my cash app. So just if we're gonna send somebody home, you send them home properly. We don't want nobody going to afterlife. You know, you're going to school
Let me
trip.
tell you something. If I owe Sharonda $40, I would have left with Olena because she would have made me feel so bad paying her $40. Okay, to the point she would have said, you really need it, don't even worry about it. You ain't paid me yet, don't even worry about it.
Hey, Jeff, I wanted to make if you die, I owe you $40. It's between me and you. I see you on the other top player. I see. I'm gonna pay you in cloud app when I get up. You know what I'm saying? But that's between me and you.
Cloud app.
But you never heard nobody ever say that at anybody's service. And I'm sure people left here owing, but nobody ever get up there in their speech and go, damn, man, I was getting paid this week, I owe 500, because the family be like, yo, can we don't let him leave. Come here. You owe the family 500. You're absolutely right. That's the type of person she was. I'd say she's her main quality, and she had a lot of good qualities. Her greatest quality is how she brought people together.
You know what?
And this pandemic, these last 2.5, going on 3 years, dude, we created a community out of nothing, and it was a lot of her. I just come on here, hit the button, show up, but Sharonda, it was a lot of her, like, blah, 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 put it together. Next thing you know, it's 50 people that every time something's going on, they jump on together, they know each other. Perfect example is we got the super producer right here and the editor and founder of the Humor Mill magazine, Humor Mill TV, Humor Mill app. This is Frank Holder. And Frank came up with a great show called The Box Seats. And we get on there, and it's like a sports show, but you're doing it with comedians. So you get a little more bang for your buck when you talk about certain sports topics. And in no time, I just woke up one day and Sharonda was associate producer behind the scenes doing all the stuff, and Frank had her working. And perfect example, these are two people that got together on the box seat. They've been doing this so good and flowing so much, I really forgot they didn't physically meet.
Mm-hmm.
Frank, tell that story. I forgot.
I mean, you told it. I mean, there's nothing else to say. We met, one thing after another, and next thing you know, we're talking every day or every other day. and like friends. You know what I mean? She even got to know my wife. So Sharonda, as I said, on a couple other shows before, Sharonda had a way of being able to get people to feel comfortable, and Sharonda was very helpful in doing things that I needed to get done without me having to ask. I think that was the beauty of Sharonda. You know what I mean? Like that was the greatest thing of Sharonda. You know what I mean? And I absolutely loved that about her. So, and I wanted to come in to be able to say this before my phone died. My phone was about to die, so I wanted to be able to come
Bro,
in.
listen, it means the world, bro. It's not about quantity and how long you can be on. It's about quality, and I'm glad that you popped in there because you instantly became an intricate part of her, and she looked forward to it every day. Like you couldn't tell her this shit wasn't on NBC because
she came up with the
Rhonda was
best
getting
idea of the show too. She was the one who said, "Frank, you need to have rotating hosts and put those comics on tap." Because I was hosting every day. She said, "You need to have rotating hosts, have these hosts every day. They do it, and it brought out the best of the show. Now we do it like it was Sharonda's idea." Hi, Alfreda. So I gotta thank. First of all, I want to thank you, Talent, for me. You even introduced me to her. I said to her plenty of times, I said, boy, Talent left up. I don't know how I'm going to steal you from her. She's always laugh. I said, I need to steal you from Talent. She's like, no, that's my dog. I was like, I said, she's amazing. So I wanted to come up here and say that. So,
hey, but she was so dope, Frank. If all 6 of us had business and companies to do stuff, she could have did it all for everybody, and nobody missed a beat or a step. So thank you very much, Frank. Ladies and gentlemen,
salute to you, King.
Frederick, appreciate
I'll
you.
talk to you all.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right,
you for
Frank.
popping in. I know the phone damn, so I really appreciate it. JoJo,
Hi.
what up, Queen? See, you look great. Look, you're taking up the
Can I have a little notice? I'm soaking wet out of the shower, and then you guys don't believe in central air conditioning up north. Like, this is awful. I'm wet and I'm hot.
we believe in central air. You just got to stand in the middle of the liver. You moving around? How you gonna get central air? You moving all around? No, but you know what's funny? Apologies for the last minute.
No,
my heart spoke. What happened was, of course, during all these festivities and traveling and jet lag, my body after the box seats today, I really said, you know what? Take this damn nap, get these hours in, so you don't have to cancel 6 o'clock because it's also about Sharonda. I have to be here. We have to be there for her. So the last minute has 2 components to it. One is what I just said, but more importantly, I felt like that's how she was snatched from us. Last minute,
right.
No announcement. We didn't get a chance to go visit her and bring her flowers over the last few weeks or months, stuck in the hospital, hooked to a machine. We didn't have none of that, and for lack of a better word, we have none of that notification or luxury or lack thereof. Because it was last minute, I felt like, hey, it's okay to wake up and say, you know what, Monday we're gonna do. I think me and myself thought of this format last Monday. We touched on it, we talked about it, but we wanted to go full blast with people who knew her. What did knowing her mean to you, JoJo?
Everything. When I don't know if people know how I got up here, but I just kind of got to New York. This is making me all choked up. I just got here, and she was the first person that was like just a friend to me. And not only, like, we were friends before we met, and then she came out and surprised me in New York City at a show, because I don't even know how to explain it. When I first got here, like, I was a comedian already, but you get here and people don't know you, and I'd reach out to people that talked to me when I was in Atlanta, but then I got here and they wouldn't even say F you, I was just like, hello, I'm here. And I don't even know how she found me. I don't know if you saw something on Instagram, but we started chatting and talking, and then she was always there. She made me realize that I could do this. And God, I don't like, I'm not a very social person. I'm kind of like not shy on stage, but in general, like, I'm not a chatty person or anything, but she'd get me to talk.
Yeah.
And I looked forward to her, and I feel so blessed that I got to see her. Like, it was that Sunday at Aruga's. I can't, like, I'd have been broken,
Yeah.
I am broken.
It's okay, baby. It's all right. Listen, that's why we here. It's nothing wrong about this. I mean, you crying right there in the background, it looks like an episode of Hoarders. But listen, the point is,
wait a minute.
The point, no, I mean, I didn't mean like that. I'm just saying, you ever see those testimonials Not that you got a bunch of shit behind you, but you know, hoarders, they go to the person that's trying to help the person, and she's crying and breaking down. This look
You
like
got too much time in your hands watching Hoarders. Way too much time.
a fucking pandemic. I think we all got too much time.
Hoarders, like you've reached the end of all TV.
Yeah. But you know what it is? They fucked up with me. I love TV and movies, right? They fucked up by making everything so accessible.
Right?
Once shit went to streaming, and you can watch anything, anywhere, at any time, that's hell in heaven right there. You mean I don't have to be staying to watch 3 episodes of Old Ark or whatever show I like so now I can take it with me. I just left my brothers down in Florida. So yesterday I put the Fire Stick in the TV in the hotel room.
Oh my
Bro,
goodness.
I'm in heaven because you're traveling with your TV program. You already programmed this thing. So it got your Hulu, got everything you watch on it. You just patch it in. So home is away from home now, as far as television goes and stuff like that. So I appreciate you know that. Now this guy, this fucking extraordinaire artist, this brother. First of all, Kemal, we talk about bringing people together. He's in that group I was just talking about, 50, 60 people that over the pandemic just became a family. And we see them all the time. Anytime I go live or any show come on, you see them getting the comments, DJ Jess. Before they even talk to me, they talk to each other. What's up, player? I'm reading shit. I'm like, what's up? No, not you. This nigga. I'm like, yeah. So came off one of those dudes. And then one time, you know, I got a good feeling him spiritually. And we were talking about something because we had the political and the news shows. He was like, yo, bring me in, man. I got something to say about that. And the rest was history. Whenever you see his name and he want to come in or he got a word to say, we bring him in. Now, fast forward, we lose Sharonda, and on his own, he says, T, I'm going to, because this dude is phenomenal with the poetry and the spoken word. He's like, I'm going to do a piece, and I'm going to send it to you, edit it or whatever, and let the family do what they do with it, which, you know, I'm going to send it in to them, and they're going to play. But, brother, I've watched the final copy when you sent, and I was in the hotel bed, and the tears just started coming down, and it wasn't like sad tears. It was like, you did a great piece.
Yeah.
It was like, that's true artistry, because you haven't been here 30 years like me and her without connection, but somehow when you put it to your dome and put it to the paper, you tapped into all of that. Like you encapsulated and covered and like maximize the feelings and emotions that I had. And I'm sure others, when they hear it, is going to touch them. It's like a sermon. And it's like when it touches them, it's going to touch them in the same way and right. I don't know if you have it prepared, my brother. First of all, give your voice and opinion on Sharonda and whatever good things you want to say about it. And if you could do it, bro, give people a preview of what is going to play Friday, because there's going to be a lot more people there that's not tuned in today. You know what I mean?
Like I said, I met her through the gram on the page, and she was very supportive of my poetry, very, very. But when I came to Atlantic City, I was already nervous. You seen how I was moving because I got the movie cameras. I'm trying to put everything together, and then she stopped me. She said, "Oh my goodness, it's such a blessing to meet you in person." And then she hugged the hell out of me for comfort, right? Oh my goodness.
I know that's crazy.
Yeah, she made me feel really good with that. You feel me? Sat down because she was sitting at the table where I was like, "Ooh." I came over to y'all table,
right?
And she just gave me that look, or made sure just like, "You're right." You know, that means a lot. You know, especially I had all that pressure on my shoulder at that time. You feel me? I got to perform. I got to make sure the footage is right. I got everything going on, and then for her with that, she just made me feel super comfortable. That's why I keep hearing everybody say it's how she felt comfortable. I'm gonna say the poem, but I have the part of the poem I said she's known as the comforter. You feel me?
Yes.
So yeah, I'm gonna say the poem.
Okay.
Check. It's so hard to say hello to a new day without an old friend. This old man we call death reminds you of so many of life regrets, make you rethink your next steps, like to live life without fear. Sharonda appreciates the tears but more so the smiles and laughter. If she's celebrating in the hereafter, you can ask her. Because she's an ancestor now, and somehow to us this doesn't make sense. But she was a prophet in her own sense, the comforter. She would comfort her and him. She would comfort her and him. Her essence was a blessing. The way she lived her life should be your lesson. But like all prophets, she must return back home to reclaim that black throne. But her seeds were sown. Her purpose was done. She was the one for many. And her love cannot be silent. You see its talent. And the rest of us, and who amongst us could testify without a misty eye? She would say, miss me with the cry. Because in God's eyes, she's where she's supposed to be. Eating fruits that glow, drinking water as pure as Christ's soul, trenched in gold. So my friend, until I see you again, this song would play. I'ma stay strong, but it's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about right there, man. Brother, I can't thank you enough, and trust when I tell you that's gonna hit the center of everybody's heart, and is gonna represent her to the fullest, because you encapsulate in there, like you said, she's the comforter. To me, what stands out and synonymous with a lot of people is how she bring other folks together. And I'm not talking about people that's easy to bring together. Sharonda's brought some people together that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that should probably be sitting in the same booth. She got them in the same booth. You come in there and be like, yo, me holler at you. You got the Bloods and the Crips together. And yeah, they put their guns in the storage, da da da. But she was that type of person, and we're more than happy today to give this whole entire hour in her honor and give her flowers, because that's the one thing I will say. There's a heavy weight off of me personally, because myself and her, we gave each other flowers on a daily basis. And when I did the inventory, it ain't a whole ton of people that I could say that about that I am close to. And that's my challenge for myself. You know, you got all these TikTok challenges and dance challenges. Fuck all them. My challenge is to assimilate what we had with other people who are close in my circle and around us, so that we don't know what tomorrow holds. We don't know. For example, you know, we hear about death coming in threes. Hers was a week ago Monday. We come in, wake up this morning, comedian Marcus Combs died from a brain aneurysm. I get 40 minutes from that, I finally get in my door, my house. I get a phone call, my childhood, high school buddy, it was close, we hung out with, Dave Brown. He died kidney failure. He was on dialysis and all that stuff. So we did that in my life. That was my three. And it was so quick in a 7 day span. We just don't know. So that's my challenge, and I put that out in the universe for everybody else. If you have a chance to check this show, I don't care if you catch it live, you catch it later. Challenge yourself to do what Amir says all the time. Check on people. Check on your friends. Check on your people, man. For no reason at all. Just check on them. You know, I had a buddy, I didn't get in an argument with him, but I know he didn't like what I said today when I told you my friend Dave Brown died. And he's like, yo, man, I didn't know he was on dialysis. And how I know he was on dialysis? That's bullshit. And I'm like, bro, if you checked on him, I'm sure he would have told you. That's not something people blast out. When people are going through these major life things, these medical things, their main concern is trying to stay the fuck alive. What do I got to do, doc? Okay, I got to change it. I got to do. So they're not thinking, well, let me put a blast out on Instagram that I might die. Like, nobody's thinking that shit. They're trying to fight for their life and stay alive. Actually put that on you, that somewhere in there you could have gave a call. Hey, man, I'm just checking on you. Amir say it all the time. Don't you say it all the time?
Yeah, I do. I mean it. Like I said, it's simple, y'all. It's a text, it's a phone call. Shoot, one of my dudes checked in on me today that I hadn't heard from in a while. I called him right back. Yo, just want to make sure you know I'm okay. Pick up the phone. Like I said, make that text message. If you can get to the person, get to them. There's nothing wrong with giving yourself the opportunity to be in and around the people and energy that is always poured into you and is always trying to pour into you. We got to do better at that, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to carry us. We are all here via talent and Sharonda in some way, shape, or form. But that just goes to show you the power of your energy and the power of what you can do with the simplest thing, just checking on somebody. That's
It's
what that
just that
boils
it's
down
just that simple, man, and it goes on. You on mute?
Yeah, no, I'm not on mute.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna lie, like that so for real, and not even just the text of response and text. Amir sends me a positive quote every morning on Instagram.
Yeah.
On Instagram, me a positive quote. You feel me? So stuff like that, just to keep the person. One day he sent me a positive quote. I swear, I was going through. I hear that. That was right
That's
on.
That's a
Right.
fact. And once again, people, you see it scrolling on the bottom. The arrangements for the homegoing of Sharonda Rogers will be this Friday, May 20th, 9 to 11 is the viewing. At 11, the service starts. St. John's Baptist Church, 525 Bramhall Avenue, Jersey City. No official repass. We want to send her away with well wishes to celebrate her life. Feel free to wear any shade of green as it was her favorite color. I gotta go to the store. I don't know about you. I
Me
gotta go
too.
find me some green. Yeah, I'm allergic to
I
leprechauns.
got green.
It's a,
Everything I own is
Ain't
black.
gonna be that bright.
I'm allergic to leprechauns. But anyway, so in closing, I want to close off with this prayer. Speaking of affirmations and goodwill and good wishes in the universe, you're right. Amir is one of those guys. Every day we get something, and it's uplifting and inspiring. And as well, it's comedian Tony Woods. The great Tony Woods puts out, it's like he got these feeds with 20, 30 comedians at a time. And today's prayer is called Good Day. Anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. John 4:8. Father, we thank you, and that indeed you are powerful and loving, that out of your glorious riches you strengthen us through your unconditional love. We ask for your power and love to fill us. We thank you that as believers, we know that Christ dwells richly within our hearts and through our faith. We pray that you would strengthen our roots and establish our lives firmly in your love. When the world shouts hate, help us to love. When the past won't let go, help us to love. When the enemy taunts with lies and surrounds us with darkness, help us to love. When a relationship feels broken or we're betrayed or rejected, help us to love. Help us to love and to keep on loving by the power of your spirit, even when it seems impossible, even when it doesn't make sense. May our lives be filled with your goodness and power today and every day as we walk in the spirit of love. Through acts of love and kindness in Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
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 Stay motivated, people. Peace, kings and queens. It's been Motivation Monday. We're going to close out with our tribute again. Sharonda Rogers. See y'all next Monday. God bless.
Yes.
Still can't believe you're gonna give anything to hear half your breath. I know you still living your life after death.